Welcome back to Out There with Dan. This is the Drifter Stockton medium hexatarp. We've had it a while now. I thought I'd share my review. I reckon you might get something out of it. So basically, this is a tarp, and when you lay it flat on the ground, it's got 6 sides. Although I'd argue that because it changes direction here along that axis, a bit of a corner, I reckon it's got 8 sides, but I'm not going to get hung up on that. There's videos already showing how to set it up, so I won't go into that in detail, but I'll describe it briefly. Basically, along this axis, on the ends, there's 2 metal clips, and then from that, the pole goes through the metal clip, the spigot, and then a guy rope which comes supplied with a loop in it connects down and then forks to 2 pegs on the ground. The corners of the hexatarp then go down to that same peg, and then there's center pegs and then the same as this side on the other side. So although it looks complicated, all the pegs are basically set up in a rectangle. But if you can't get a perfect rectangle because you're hard up against the tent, or you're on the edge of a riverbank, for example, or you've got a slope, it's easy to make do and to adjust the pegs and tweak it here and there. So come on in, you record. So it comes with this bag. It's like a nylon bag, and it folds up pretty bloody small. All the poles go into it and everything, but what I've done is I like to have things a bit oversized. So I've used a Drifter small equipment bag, it's called, and I keep all my hexatarp stuff in here. So it's a bit bigger, but I prefer that, not having to worry about stressing folding it up for the pack up. I've got a bag for the tent pegs, a boot liner bag, and I'm gonna purpose another bag to put all my guy ropes in, which I haven't sorted out yet. But yeah, it all goes in here and fits really easily. The medium hexatarp comes with 2.4 meter poles, and they are connectable poles like this, so fixed height, and there's 4 pieces. They just click together. The top one's got the spigot, and the bottom one's got the rubber foot, so you've got to get them in the right order, but that's how they come. I've upgraded these, and I've got this 4-stage adjustable pole, which come from Drifter Stockton in 2.4 meters and 2.8 meters if you've got the large. And these are really good. You just twist lock and get them at the height you want, and they're far lighter. So in the bag, you get the tarp, you get all the guy ropes, and you get the 2 end poles, but you don't get any pegs. So I've chosen the Drifter Stockton forged solid stakes, which are these things here, and 400 mil, so they're really long. There's no way that this sucker's going to come out of the ground. Another upgrade that I've done is the guy ropes. So I bought some Drifter Stockton guy ropes, the large ones and for these corner ones, and the small ones for the center ones. These are a bit more thicker, a bit more durable. They've got the night reflective strip in them, so you're not going to trip over them as much. And what I like the most is they've gone for this Oztent style clip rather than this small metal clip. So yeah, quality of life thing. Actually, they're a bit more elastic too, so there's just a bit more forgiveness in when you're setting them up. But yeah, they're really good. I like those. Come over here. So this is the small guy rope here. And what I've done is I've attached a small carabiner that Drifter sell, a little clip. So one of the bugbears I have with packing it up is it all goes into the bag really easily, and you can leave the guy ropes attached, but it ends up like a spaghetti of guy ropes when you're trying to pull the tarp out again the next time. So this will allow me to quickly unhook the guy ropes on the corners, and then the end ones, the ones that fork, they just hook over the spigot of the post anyway. So this allows you to pack up the tarp, roll up the tarp, and then have the guy ropes completely separate. So that's a really cool idea too. I've got a couple of them on the sides, but I'm going to do that for the 4 corners too. So you only need the 2 poles on the end, and the rest can be guy rope down, but it gets more stable, and you can have sort of more open sides if you prop up with poles. So on this side, I've used 3 of the extensions of the 4 of the original poles, which just opens this up so we can enjoy the nice view we've got, which is beautiful. And same on this side, I've just got 2 of the poles, or 2 of the halves, 2 of the quarters of the poles that came with, and I've just lifted that up so that the seats, to maximise the floor space, I guess, that's under the shelter. But yeah, these work really, really well. We've been here 5 nights now, going on 6. We're here for 7. And early on, we had the first 3 days of miserable rain and weather, and everything we put underneath, nothing got wet. It did its job really well. It's really stable in winds, even with just the guy ropes, but having a couple more extra poles set up is really handy too. You can even, if you want, bring in this to this pole and bring in that corner to this pole, and essentially put that down as low as you can and create a windbreak from one side. We haven't tried that yet, we haven't needed to, but that's an option as well. Come out here. So another thing you can do, oh no, birds pooped on it, I'll have to clean it. If you prop up this side with a pole about this high, and this one high enough with a pole, so right now we're on the diagonal kind of side of it, diagonal corner, you can get enough sort of frontage to park your vehicle up to it and open your tailgate under cover, or you could put your Oz tent butted up to it. Hey folks, Future Dan here. I did end up getting a couple more 2.4 meter 4-stage adjustable poles to use on the sides, as well as some more carabiners. So I'll let you know how that goes. I decided I will make another video on the Hexa-Tarp. I'm gonna go through my tips and tricks and setting it up, and we might even try to do a speed run. Just how fast can you set up one of these Hexa-Tarps? If that interests you and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Let's go back to the video. So the way we like to use this is as our dining, family and kitchen area when we're camping. So we've got our Drifter 200 set up here, we've got our dining tables, and we've got chairs, enough seating for whoever's with us.
Now dance to dad, dance to dad.
2 adults and 2 young kids. I like the size of the medium one. The higher you get the poles up, potentially the higher the shade is, or the larger the amount of shade. So if you've got it right down on the ground, and you probably only fit maybe 3 people in a chair underneath if it's pulled right down to the ground. But if it's set up like this with a couple of the sides up, you'd have no problem like having 7 or 8 people sitting under here on pretty big camp chairs. The obvious comparison that people do with these is to a standard 3x3 meter gazebo. So you're probably thinking, how does it compare with that? Gazebo, first of all, is much heavier, probably 5 times the weight, if not more. And a gazebo, 3x3 meter gazebo certainly doesn't fit into this. So you're saving a lot of space and a lot of weight. In terms of cost, a gazebo is probably a couple of $100 for one of the sort of cheaper ones, but then you're more than likely going to want to buy the sidewalls, which are about $100 each. And so by the time you do this, you're about the same price as the Hexa-Tarp. So the medium I bought for $325. I think that's fairly comparable. You get a lot of flexibility with being able to move down the sides, so you don't need to buy anything extra like the sidewalls for this. You can do the poles and the guy ropes and the nice pegs like I have. I think that's a really excellent upgrade, but out of the box, you get a pretty versatile bit of kit. In terms of shade as well and shelter, the potential footprint of this is bigger than a 3x3 meter awning. And like I said, you're just not chasing the sun as much. Because of its small size, you can pack it in the car even if you don't think you're definitely going to use it. So a bit of a contingency, or maybe we might use it. Because it's small, it's possible to do that. Whereas with a gazebo, you tend to go, yep, we're taking the gazebo because we need to use the gazebo. Might be handy as well in a survival situation. Say your car breaks down in the desert. Be good to erect something pretty quick like this to get under shelter. I might just do a bit here because I forgot to talk about the eyelets. I saw on Facebook a while ago that the first iterations of the tarp had had issues with these little bits rusting. So I will check in with Luke and see what he can do there. But yeah, that's the only thing that I'd say that I've had a problem with, and I'm pretty sure there's a fix to that. So yeah, just thought I'd mention it. I didn't want to say it because it sounds a little pretentious, but I also think these look really cool. Like if you've got a gazebo, it says, "Hello, I'm a guy with a gazebo." Whereas you have this and people look at you and they go, "You know what, that guy knows what he's doing." Maybe not. But yeah, my hot tip for setting it up is put down a ground sheet like that one. I think that's 3 meters by 6 meters or 2.5 meters by 6 meters. Put that down underneath the tarp before you put it up. We found that you get like almost like a static buildup or stickiness on the underside of the tarp, and you can get dirt and stuff stuck to it. So we've erected it before, and then for a couple of days you've got bits of dirt falling on your head, and that's not great. And it just saves a bit of cleanup when you get home too. So yeah, lay down a ground sheet and then lay it out and then set it up. Like I said, it rained heaps earlier in the week and everything stayed dry. It held up really well. You can see that the stitching is just first class. You know, it's really well made. I mean, apart from the eyelets, which I've discussed, but the actual fabric, yeah, I can't fault it. It's really good. The Hexa-Tarp really does work for us. It's small, it's compact, it's lightweight, it's easy to set up and pack up, and it's really flexible. Like I showed you, you can have the different pole configurations and block out one side if you want, or have it extra high or extra low. We'll probably end up getting some more of these extendable poles for the outsides just to bring the weight right down. These poles are so light compared to the steel ones, and that'll just give us the ultimate flexibility with how we want to set this up. We're really happy with it. Yeah, you don't have to do the guy ropes and these particular pegs we've got, but they're really good. I really vouch for them. Ask me any questions you like, more than happy to answer. If this is your thing, we also camp with our Ozten RV5, and I've done some videos on that. Perhaps you're interested in watching those videos. See you soon. Paisley, hey, Daddy's making a video. We're nearly finished. Can you please be patient and wait? And then we'll do a hot after. Do the fire soon. Can you wait 5 minutes? 3-year-olds don't wait 5 minutes.